Good afternoon, good morning, good midday. It's the 20th of November. It's the Business Banter Show. How are we doing? It's Friday, so everybody's a bit more relaxed, I think. That's the way it goes. We're going to do the headlines. We've got a couple of guests coming, one of the regulars. Nobody else, just one regular at the moment. It's fine, though. It's okay. We can deal with it. Let's do the headlines. Bit of a weird, slow news day. I don't know if we can actually say that. But the bullying inquiry head, who's been looking into the bullying regarding Patel, has quit. The head of the inquiry, Boris Johnson's advisor on ministerial code, resigns after the PM backs Priti Patel after the bullying inquiry. Sunak mauls public sector pay freeze for millions. Chancellor Rishi Sunak is trying to bolster public finances after huge spending to fight coronavirus. I've got loads of stuff to talk about there. I'm just angry at that. Killer drug GHB should be reclassified. GHB has been used in a series of murders, but is currently in the same category as anabolic steroids, so that should be sorted out. Flu jab push as COVID vaccine rollout plans. Matt Hancock, Mr. Hancock, said the NHS was preparing to roll out a COVID-19 vaccine if one is approved for use. He's been saying the same thing every single day. Also, the normal flu jab has now been, the age has been brought down to the over 50s. I'll be getting one. I'll be getting the normal flu jab. I think a few other people have had them anyway, so it's just the way it is. So let's bring Mark on. Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Like you, it kind of stuck a note there with Matt Hancock and the whole virus vaccine, and I feel like they've got to keep talking about it. Got to keep talking about it. But you know, I found out, bless her, my mother was taken into hospital 4 or 5 days ago. You think, why would it so long?
Yeah.
But sometimes family isn't great telling you things, and she didn't want to worry us. But she's got pneumonia.
No.
Yeah, and I just feel that, people are COVID, and she hasn't tested positive for COVID, but pneumonia is just as bad, and it's still a killer in the same way as COVID is. So obviously I'm concerned at the moment.
I've got to admit, I'll stand by that statement. I actually had pneumonia about 3 years ago, and as because it's Friday, we'll try to keep things fairly light. But I had it, and my wonderful wife. This is a classic story I tell a lot of people. I woke up in the middle of the night about 3 a.m. I was shaking, I was sweating, I really felt ill.
Yeah.
And the wife said, just go downstairs and get yourself some warm Ribena. She stayed in bed. I was able to get down the stairs. I mean, literally, I was like this. I couldn't stop shaking. And then I put the kettle on, and then I was trying to do boiling water at 3:30 in the morning. Took some paracetamol, sat downstairs for 2 hours, got myself in the doctor's at straight away in the morning. The old days when you used to be able to go and see him. And he said, "Yeah, you've got pneumonia." He said, "What are you doing out the house?" And I went, "Well, I had a glass of Ribena. I was told by the wife to have a glass of Ribena and some paracetamol." She went, "No, you've got pneumonia." He said, "You just got to go home, wrap up, stay in bed for 4 days." And I did. I got over it, but it was awful. It was just, you just out of control. It's all to do with your core temperature, which affects it. But obviously, that's not good. How old is your mum?
72. So obviously, concern is
Yeah,
with the whole, you're going into a hospital where patients have got COVID in there, and I don't want to disparage or be detrimental to what the NHS are doing, but the biggest diseases are often found in the hospitals because in the day they do try and control this and keep cleaning going, but you can't. People are coming in with it, so it is concerning. Yeah.
It is, the whole, what was that bug that was going around a few years back in the hospital? The super bug.
Yeah.
Everybody was catching it for the hospitals there. So it's, but it's only because, I think they keep the hotels, the hospitals very clean. But I think the bug's just sort of take over there, which isn't very pleasant. But the the thing with the flu jab is that obviously, they do have to keep talking it up, don't they? Because it's lifting the spirits of everybody. I mean, I've never seen the guy on the BBC News, who's the medical correspondent. I've never seen him so happy in 12 months. You know, he's like beaming ear to ear every time he comes on, and they really are talking this up to give a bit of a positive attitude.
Well,
because
honestly, I feel that, yes, I am sceptical about the whole vaccine, but at the same time, because, let's point out this. Advisors say we can now do 94% test rates. The Oxford tests are coming in and say, well, we're 90%. It's like this, who's going to come in next with how successful they are?
Well, there's about 20 out there, isn't there? There's about 20 different
which
tests.
we knew that they were all fighting and buying to get this to obviously mainstream. That's the question I want to see is, yes, okay, there's concerns from one or two about taking it and all the rest of it, and I get that. I'm in the boardroom of that camp. But at the same time, where's the timeline then from the experts? Forget wishy-washy you, Matt Hancock going like, we're ready to have it when it's available. When is it going to be available? That's when the economy can start breathing.
Well, that's right. That's true. Pfizer is. They are now. They've done their final tests. They've released the data, and that's safe. They've classed that as safe now. So now it's gone to each country's health board. Is it? I don't know. And they give the go ahead.
They've got to get this license.
Got to get the license. Pfizer has also, which is a good thing. They've also released how to manufacture it to a lot of the Indian companies who make the drugs very cheap. So that's going to happen. So I think if it gets pushed through the paperwork side, I don't mean the testing, because I think the testing needs to be done correctly. But I think as long as all the paperwork gets all pushed through correctly and nice and quickly, I think this could be out for December for a lot of people, even for the core people.
But I think it's what people need to hear right now, isn't it? That December, when times are, because let's just pick up on this for a minute. I was told this.
Let me just Grant's just come in. He's take a breath, Grant. You look like you had a breath there, mate. I think. Did you run up the stairs?
Yeah.
You sat down. You were like this.
Yeah. Just got back from a walk.
All right, you need to walk a bit slower, mate. Careful. A man of your age.
I was just briefly gonna say, because GMTV, I believe GMTV, have been pulled up because so many kids have been in tears because they said Christmas is cancelled and they've had to apologise. Seriously. So it'd be great to see, obviously, Christmas not being cancelled and that being.
I wonder what Father Christmas is doing. He must be like on 10 trucks at the moment, Am I going? Am I not going? He must be all over the place.
Well, I've heard the elf. So
he's going to have to put masks on. If you've got a house of five, he can't come in.
He must be in the danger zone with his weight.
Oh, Grant's joined the conversation, but yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. But yeah, I think if there are kids watching, obviously, yes, Father Christmas is fine. I think. You could tell if you caught it. But that it's gonna. As long as they push it through and make sure the testing's done, the paperwork. Okay, let's get on with the paperwork and get the drugs out there. That's the most important thing. I mean, you haven't been on. What were your thoughts on the drug, Grant? Because obviously we talked about it quite a lot on Wednesday.
I think it's brilliant news. I mean, it's just the main thing I'm sort of is the fact that it's going to give. Oh, frozen up then, know?
Yeah, you kept freezing up. Go on.
Hello, sorry guys. It's like old school. It's like old school lockdown, isn't it?
It's like when we first started.
You got my old internet.
That's it, yeah.
It's all a bit wobbly.
I'm,
Start that statement again, Grant.
so yeah, I'm really feeling very chipper about the vaccine. Well, the vaccines. There's loads of them now, aren't there? They're all
Yeah.
they're all coming through, and because it can't help but give people a boost because it basically means we've got it sussed, we've got it cracked. And so all we are now, there's a lot of doom and gloom around at the moment, and I think I'm hating this second lockdown with an absolute passion.
Yeah.
It's not a lockdown. It's not a lockdown. Not a lockdown at all.
It just seems absolutely ludicrous to me, this second lockdown.
Well,
Really,
I said this the other day, and I'll stick by it because I know that Wales have now come back and said that their fire break has brought down the numbers considerably in the short space of time there. But Scotland is gone into tighter measures after going into lockdown. We've said it before. Do they work? Are we not just strangling the economy?
do you know what? I've given up on it because it's you hear so many conflicting information. There doesn't seem to be any group of scientists that can all agree on the facts about the R number, about the number of infections. I saw a scientist the other day saying everybody's panicking about the NHS getting overwhelmed in the COVID wards. The NHS is usually overwhelmed this time of year with flu. People we were like that this time last year. People were moaning about the NHS, having people in corridors and stuff like that. And I hear all this conflicting information, and it's driving me insane because how hard can it be? To actually have a consensus of opinion. I think the one thing that is absolutely clear is that the economy is suffering massively, and the negativity that is caused by the way everybody's jumping on the negative bandwagon. That's why the vaccine for me is fantastic news because it will give people confidence again.
Absolutely. We're planning, and rightly or wrongly, that we're planning forward with spring with an optimism that we'll be back to face-to-face meetings, face-to-face events, because you can't continue in the quagmire that we are and say businesses will still be able to survive in another 9 months at this rate.
No, and the knock-on effect for that is. We've got a disease that we're dealing with here that is awful, and nobody's denying that it's not bad. But you know what? That's blooming life. That is life. We can't just keep shutting everything down because the collateral damage from that is far worse than the actual damage that the virus has done. And from what I can see, and again, I don't know who to believe. When I look at all these different scientists, like I watched a guy the other day who was from the Harvard, not Harvard. He was from like this. He was a professor. He reckons, the peaks that we're seeing that have now come down, would have happened anyway, regardless of lockdown, because it reaches a level and it doesn't go past that. Yeah. And I mean, this guy's highly qualified. I mean. Who are we supposed to believe? Isn't that ludicrous? Isn't it ludicrous?
I think with these lockdowns, we've always said it all along on these shows that it was there for one reason, really, was to protect the NHS because the terrible funding that's happened over the past 20, 30 years. And realistically, I don't think it's actually about the economy or business or protecting. Well, obviously, it will protect the public in the long run, but they just don't want to see bodies in the street. And I do, I say it very seriously, but even though I laugh with it, but they don't want to see, people dying in the street, which was happening in Italy because the amount of people couldn't be treated. And that's the only reason we have lockdowns, to get the numbers down to protect that one system of the NHS. Not about protecting each other. It's not about that. But this, as I said before, early on in the week, this lockdown just doesn't look like lockdown to me. I went out on Wednesday, and there was motorways are packed. So where's everybody going?
It is completely different. But Birmingham city centre, you know, is obviously really quiet. Nowhere near as quiet as the last lockdown. The last lockdown, when I went into Birmingham, it was literally like, you know, an apocalypse film. There was nobody.
That's right, you said. Yeah.
It was empty. There was nobody there. But now it's you know, there's quite a few people around. There's a lot of people at work. You know, the offices where we work, Mark. You know, there's people in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not empty, and it's nothing like the last lockdown. There's a lot of shops that are open. Why are they open?
Yeah, you know? A lot of what I would liken it to unnecessary shops open. They've got this loophole where they are, you know, using it for essential. I mean, no offense, WH Smith. Where is it essential? I need my paper. You know what I mean?
It's in case your pen runs out. It's in case your pen runs out. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me that you know, the clothes shops, bars and restaurants, nightclubs, gyms. That's the worst one for me. The gym. Honest to God, you go to the gym to stay healthy. They've shut the gym. I'm now getting fat again. You know, I
don't think for a minute you'd be fat there, but you know what I mean. I like you mean your sentiments.
I know that you started off as fat, Grant, so I think you're okay. You're all right there.
I mean,
trim as ever.
What I was thinking though is, and you know, someone mentioned this the other day. They're talking about this 5-day break, for Christmas, so you can go and see your family. You know, how chocker are the motorways going to be that week? Soon as they say the 23rd or whatever it is, you can now have this unlimited, do what you want, go and see whoever you want. You're going to be sitting in a car park.
Well, sure, though. What's going to happen? Here's a question for you guys. They're rolling out the vaccine supposedly early to mid-December. They've said they're going to start rolling it out for the most vulnerable.
Okay.
Does that mean that all those people that are the most vulnerable all of a sudden can start going to the shops and going to the pub again?
It'd be sold on the black market.
Is that what it means? Because why would they need to be locked down if they've now got the vaccine?
I don't think it works that fast. Don't you need two? The Pfizer one. You need 2 injections. I think they've said a month apart.
2 weeks apart, isn't it? So just in time for your Christmas turkey. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to see any Tina's family, so I don't care. So far.
Just watch the viewers, Matt.
No, she knows. It's fine. She knows. It's fine. It's all right.
Watching anyway.
While we're talking about Christmas, I just want to get everybody's feeling on what's going on with the Fairy Tale of New York track. I don't know if anybody's picked this up on the news in the past 24 hours. That certain radio stations have either banned it or re-edited the track because of the couple of words that are in there, which in context work fine. Mark's trying to figure out which word it is. It's because obviously that song, The Fairy Tale of New York, is a conversation between 2 people who actually hate each other and they come together at Christmas. That's what the song's about. And so there were, they'd say, very derogative remarks.
It's the word you're on about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Thanks. I was waiting for someone to say it, and I didn't want to say it.
I was trying to go through the lyrics.
I like my faggots with gravy.
Well, that's exactly right. What I said to my daughter this morning, I said, "Well, can't we say faggots and chips anymore? You know, that's the problem." But anyway, so a lot of the stations are actually banned it or re-editing the song. Radio 2 aren't. Radio 2 have left it, and they will be still playing it out in their full entirety. Yeah. I just wondered, we've gone back to this thing where, you know, taken into context of something done 27 years ago now, and because it was done then and people thought that was fine, that should we re-edit stuff now to fit in with the, I'm going to say, the snowflake generation, unfortunately. I know it annoys people, but it's you know, should we be doing that? Is that correct, or should we just leave stuff?
I mean,
I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's always a question of where you draw the line, isn't it? Where you draw the line, you know. And in that instance, and it's also that whole thing about people being offended. You know,
That's right. Yeah.
you know, at what point does it become, silly to take offence? And it's there's a grey area there, isn't there? Because there are certain, I remember years ago, it always used to be sticks and stones break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's not actually true, is it?
Not anymore.
No,
not anymore.
But, I think it's a really, really difficult one because I agree with the whole snowflake mentality. A lot of people use being offended as an excuse to be a snowflake, to be an absolute, weak-minded individual. But on the other hand, there are some really derogatory terms that it'd be really difficult not to take offence to.
Well, that's correct. I mean, my problem with this is that, and there's a meme going around at the moment, which is talking about this song, Fairy Tale of New York, and there was it's supposed to be somebody on the radio, and they said, "Oh yeah, we can't play that song because it could offend people." But he's Cardi B talking about her vagina, which the song, her Cardi B song.
I'm not coming on this show again. I'm offended now. How can you use that word?
It's a correct term, and she talks about her downstairs on this track, and that went to number one. And so how can
it is a medical term though, isn't it? I mean, it's not. That isn't going to offend anybody unless they're rude.
Well, there is that. But
can I just interject here? Only from a point of view because I'm not very good with latest music, and obviously I've got. Yeah.
Really?
That truly spoken like an old person, then, Mark.
Modern tunes.
I've got a teenager.
He loves a bit of rap.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I've got a 13, 14-year-old, and this is how good I am with Alexa. I'll go like, play pop music, and she probably will in it. And then I come up with something modern, which I'm like, because I can't remember the artist's names. So I'm like, oh, not that one. I was listening to this one track, and it wasn't a rap. It was just an ordinary song. I can't remember who it was. And he started swearing with the F word, and I thought, there's no need for that. It was a good lyric. You didn't need to have the F word in it.
Did he have a good beat?
Yeah, I was like, next. You know what I mean? My point is, kids want to listen to all sorts of music. Where do artists have to come up with this sort of derogative remark?
Well, unfortunately, it's happened all for generations. This is because kids, for kids music, not teenagers music, is supposed to upset the parents. It's the idea of it is pushing the boundaries. No, it is. It's supposed to push the boundaries. It's not something that your mom and dad are supposed to listen to. It's for you. It's designed. It's written for you. It's written for that moment. And I fully understand that. So Cardi B, great, and I've got nothing wrong with Cardi B because I think it's a great artist, but I just think it's wrong that a station plays that track and won't play the other one because it says faggot in it, and it's just weird, and especially when that conversation is between two people. If you have an argument on a film that's 20 years ago and they start swearing at each other and calling each other names, are you going to get offended by that? Because that's what this is. It's a conversation. I mean, Darren's just sent text in and said that Beatles, Lucy in the Sky, is all about LSD, and he said, Lucy, Sky, and Diamonds, LSD. That's what it stands for. Should that be?
Text him back and say, why isn't on the show?
I don't know why he's not on. He's probably busy doing government stuff. But it's all very strange, and it's something which it just really bothered me in the past 24 hours. And it was nice for something to bother me other than COVID. I suppose that's the most important thing.
Put your mind off it. Put your mind off it. Maybe that's what they're doing.
And just briefly, just before we go, because I'm going to show something at the end about a great American Christmas advert. But how's everybody's feelings about the freezing the pay for police and for teachers and all that? Have you not heard about this, Mark?
No, I mean, seeing my wife's a police officer, I think 2 fingers to Theresa May for messing up their pensions when she did and all the rest of it. And 2 fingers up to anyone who feels that our frontline, workers and that is, covers a multitude at the moment. Yeah, to think that they don't need a pay rise. That's right.
Now, the public sector is freezing everything in the public sector for the next 2 years. That's what it says. So,
They announced like billions into defence,
and also a space rocket as well. They want to build.
We're not going to knock that because we've got to get off this goddamn planet. It's going to shit.
Yeah, but Musk is.
Unbelievable.
Elon Musk has got that sewn up. That's all done. I mean, we're sending people up and down every freaking day.
Seriously. Can I just point this out for a minute? Like, but I know it's going to be controversial, but if you're sitting right now on furlough for the last 6-7 months, look for another job, start your own business because you haven't got a job. All of us here have not been paid out by anybody. No government grants, no, definitely no bounce back loans. We've had to get on with it. So we're now paying for, and our generations to come will be paying for this whole debacle of shutting the country down and lockdowns and the economy going to wreck. I'd use the second part of that, but yeah, it's true. So I mean, I had, no offense, I had a chap today telling me he's got a brand new job, getting paid to sit at home. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's right. It's. I mean, Oliver started his new job at Paragon. He started last week. He went in for 4 days, and they on the 4th day gave him a chair, a desk, and a computer. I went, there you go. You're at home till March. Oh, okay. So it's all weird, isn't it?
He won't be furloughed though because you have to.
No, he's not furloughed.
Yeah.
But he's just
still got to work.
Still got to work, and which is good. But it's just I don't know. I think it's the wrong time to announce a public sector pay freeze. I think that's a wrong thing to do now.
Yeah, because you're just giving everyone who depending on what sector you're in and the size of the company, a big fat check to say go and sit on furlough. Now,
yeah.
I know a few businesses have done the honourable thing and said, look, you know what, we've made a profit and we'll give the money back.
Yeah, Dr. Martin were one, weren't they, that were quite vocal about that, which was quite good. I think about the public sector pay freeze. It just seems a bit disingenuous that they would announce them on the same day that they announced the billions that they're putting into defence to say that they're freezing. I mean, my personal view is that, and again, this a bit like what Mark said, it's not going to be particularly popular. But I think that it probably won't be popular with you either, Mark. The police, the fire brigade, nurses, not so much nurses, but those kind of vocations, they are a kind of, you've got to be a certain kind of person to do it. And it is a sort of,
it's not for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
And I've always thought that with the fire brigade in particular, that's an amazing job. But I don't really think that overall it necessarily needs to be a very high paid job.
Yeah,
I don't training and playing snooker most of the time.
Yeah, I don't. As you say, I don't think you go into those professions thinking you're going to make lots of money.
No,
you do it because it's a vocation and it's a calling. There's 1 or 2 people here in Tewkesbury who are volunteer firemen and firewomen. They don't get paid a huge amount, but they don't see their kids often because they're on call. So
it's such a valuable profession, but not necessarily one that I think needs to be massively well paid, because you're going to fill it with people that are dedicated. They're not in it for the money. They're dedicated to what they do. But teaching, my view is with teaching should be one of the highest paid jobs on the planet. I think teachers should be choosing the absolute cream of the crop to educate our children.
Yeah,
I think we should be paying teachers an absolute fortune instead of it being a profession where, it's a kind of afterthought. Oh, I can't do anything else, so I'll go into teaching. Don't get me wrong. I know there are lots of people that are vocational teachers who believe in it, but I think that it would elevate the quality, because there's people in business, for example, that go into business that are high achievers that do it for the money, that would be amazing teachers, but they would never even think about it because there's no money in teaching. And surely, as a society, it would elevate us as a society if the cream of the crop were the teachers. That's my view. I feel quite strongly about that one.
I mean, Darren's just coming in. I don't know why he's not on the show. He's texting more than when he's talking. It is quite highly paid, and he knows some headmasters who are on 120k a year.
But for a normal teach, that's only the people at the top of the tree, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And if you compared that to running a business,
it's what they do now. That's what a headmaster does.
Yeah, actually. It's not massively well paid. You compare that to a CEO of a company with that many employees, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And yet you've got our children's best interest and the future of this country at heart, and that's what you're pointing.
And it's also the staff, the day-to-day teachers. It's not great money. It's all right. Don't get me wrong. It's not the end of the world.
It's not badly paid.
But if it was well paid, it would encourage more people to go after it instead of deciding to go down the corporate route.
No, that's right. No, that's very true. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. We're going to leave you with something because it's Friday that I found in the week, and because of all the Christmas adverts that have been going on, I find this quite amusing. It's not a film; it's an actual advert from the States. We're just going to put it onto the screen. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday. That's when we'll be doing it. Yeah. Not the right section. There we go.
Well, you wanted the quiet life, John. Dead batteries, empty streets.
Video?
Welcome to Advanced Auto Parts.
I need one of those. Is there another way out? Come on. You kidding me?
Did you know we have free installation?
Yeah, I got it.
Mac? Argyle? You still driving this thing?
You're getting blood on the seats, Mac.
Good God.
Oh, man, I just paid this off.
Argyle, you all right? We're getting out of here, buddy. Just gotta change my battery. Night, pal.
Argyle, get up. Yeah, baby. Happy trails. Get out of here. Keep this car moving.
Hey, that's my line.
Die Hard batteries, owned and sold by Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts.